The Velvet Knife, just another speakeasy in this city, one of many since certain districts have outlawed alcohol. They blamed it on excessive crime, thinking the lesser the drink, the lesser the crime. They were wrong. Crime doesn't dry up. It adapts. I'm Detective Adrian Vale. My partner is Detective Aria Keene. We worked the crime scene. Vandalism, broken whiskey bottles, and a note stabbed into the bar top. It was splattered in blood and read, "Overdue." The victims, Sam Getty and the bartender. Sam was the son of the washed-up crime boss, Don Getty, a crime family struggling to keep power they once had. The Gettys were bootleggers with a handful of speakeasies, places that were being pushed around by another gang. They called it protection money. It's just another way for big fish to eat small fish. Everything has a price. When Sam Getty was murdered, his crime boss father, Don Getty, found out the hard way. His payment was overdue. In Pale City, that's a death sentence. My partner, Detective Keene, had instincts, good ones, but she's still a rookie. She chalked it up as mob retaliation. Nothing else. But something about this case felt off. I couldn't figure out what, though. It was too convenient, too easy. And in cases I investigate, easy usually means wrong. The murders happened after hours. Cameras off and no witnesses. The bankroll wiped clean. Bodies were found in the morning during the shipment of booze. Don Getty was at the crime scene. He was cautious. Thought I might shut down his entire operation if I dug too deep. Fear does that. It seals lips tighter than murder ever could, and turns silence into its most loyal witness. I told him I solve murders, not bust businesses. I was there for justice. That was enough to get him talking. The vandalism, the violence, the threats left behind. All signed by the same family, the Scancellas. We spoke with Sam Getty's girlfriend, Francesca. Tears came easy. Keene asked the questions. I watched. When asked who killed Sam, she didn't hesitate. Vincent Scancella, a man who collected debts like trophies. She was sure Vincent was the killer. Keene played it strong, but I could see it. This case was bigger than her comfort zone. Mob war territory. Bodies piling up was only going to get worse. I told her she could walk. She didn't. That told me more about her than anything else. I liked her style, but even more than that, her grit with sticking on this case. Forensics pulled all the information it could. Not much to go on. Don Getty laid out a map of his speakeasies, along with a collection of recent threats. Envelopes left under doors or pictures of paint splattered against their walls. All said the same thing. Overdue. Debts build up, egos are pushed, and blood spills. All of his bars told the same story. Sudden threats, vandalism. Then it moved arson. Next was the hit. Forensics came up with nothing. Not even a last known address of the Scancellas, so we thought we'd dig around other speakeasies. See what we could find. Don gave us a list of possible locations Vincent might be hanging out. In Pale City, sometimes the only way in is through the shadows. That led us there, the last call. A speakeasy where you drown in your sorrows or say too much to the wrong ears. We asked questions, hunted leads. The answers came cold, if they came at all. Then we overheard the location of a bar we didn't know about, one that wasn't on Don Getty's list. Supposedly a magnet for criminals of the underworld. The name served it justice, the Devil's Pour. A dive bar hidden behind a freezer door in a rundown restaurant. That's when it happened. The room shifted before the first punch landed. Chairs scrapped, names dropped, glass shattered. The fight broke out fast. Behind the bar, brass knuckles cut through the air. We heard threats and a name, Antonio Scancella, a brother of Vincent Scancella. That was his bar. Before you could blink, Marco the Blue Reaper Viscari peppered the bar with bullets. The Blue Reaper was an enforcer avenging Sam Getty. He had a style that walked into the room before he did. Ice blue eyes, a matching pinstriped suit, a Tommy gun already pointed. Antonio dodged the bullets just in time for his brother Rico to return fire. I told Keen to stay down and let them shoot it out. When it was all said and done, we got the lead we needed. The speakeasy belonged to the Scancellas, and the war, it already started. This war wasn't a solution. It's just something that digs a deeper grave. We needed more to go on. As the patrons fled, we stayed back. We spoke to Vince's two brothers, Antonio and Rico. Antonio was known as Two Knuckles. His brass knuckles were custom-made fittings, his entire hands like heavy brass gloves. He enjoyed close work. They say if he hits you twice, you're done. Then Rico the Switchblade, a knife man. Guns only if he had to, just like Antonio. Both had rage written all over them, and both lied like it was second nature. They talked but didn't hold back on the attitude. No protection order threats and no order to kill Sam Getty. I wasn't convinced. The Scancella family claimed to control the northeast side of Pale City's speakeasy bars, Old Harbor, the downtown core, and the Red Light District. Sam Getty was operating his own speakeasies nearby, in Riverside. Mobsters always want a nickname to feel like a somebody. Vincent had one too. They called him the Ledger because he remembered everything. Every debt, every favor, and every betrayal. Then there was Gina, Vincent's girlfriend. She had stories. All of them pointed to Sam Getty getting what he deserved. Stories that matched Antonio and Rico's. Stories that said Sam is the one who demanded money, not the Scancellas. Next day, another body. Vincent Scancella. Revenge happened quick. The location, the Velvet Knife. By the time we arrived, the Blue Reaper was already there. When we questioned him on his whereabouts during the crime. He kept getting nervous when Keen got too close to the suede couch tucked away in the darkened alcove. There was something there he was trying to hide. He was too fast for me to stop him. I pushed Keen out of the way while dodging a hail of bullets. The Blue Reaper got away no matter how many rounds we fired. I couldn't tell if he guilty or innocent. Did he run because he killed his boss, Vincent, or did he not like talking to cops? Later that day, Keen got a hunch. She went back to the Sam Getty crime scene, the Velvet Knife. She was looking for anything that stood out. She remembered the knife wound, but the victim was shot too. Rico the Switchblade stuck in her mind. That felt off. The wounds were too clean, too precise, too controlled. That wasn't Rico. He was brutal and messy. This wasn't rage. This was placement. Rico only drew a gun when he had to. Rico was shot first. She walked around the crime scene. She noticed a decorative overhead light swaying like it was possessed. She checked the room thinking she would find someone. Keen pulled her gun away when she realized the room didn't have someone in it. It had something in it. The Velvet Knife had a dark history despite the upscale ambiance. The building was old, full of secrets that only shadows of the past could tell. Parts of the building were dark and abandoned by nothing but spirits. Keen didn't know what to expect next. Then she heard something drop behind her. She turned around just as fast as she drew her gun. What she found wasn't what she expected. A stack of pictures and notes. All of them laying face down except for one. When she picked it up, the light stopped swaying, but the room felt darker for some reason. Whatever was in there was trying to tell her something. Then she looked at the picture. The Dockham Speakeasy. A chilling breeze cut through her like it was reaching for her soul. She couldn't have gotten out of there any quicker. She was heading to the Dockham Speakeasy. I told her to get there as soon as she could. She showed me the picture. It was a calling card telling us to be there. We both waited, and then there she was, Gina. She was alone but had a lot to say. Whoever she was talking to was serious. When she left, she moved fast. We followed out of instinct, even though we were tipped off by a ghost. I could only guess what Gina was up to. One thing was for sure. She wasn't mourning the recent death of her boyfriend. She slipped into a laundromat, dropped a coin into a washer. A door opened to a hidden bar. We gave it a minute, then followed. Heavy smoke and darkness filled the room. Perfect cover, and that's when we saw it fall into place. Francesca. She was waiting for Gina. Not friends and not allies. Something more. They embraced like the world didn't exist, like nothing else mattered. We followed them out through the alley door. They were covering their tracks, making sure nobody found them out. They led us to a hotel. Francesca kept the car running while Gina got her luggage. They had plans. They were going somewhere. The question is where and why. We followed them to West Heights train station. The fog was thick, the air heavy with coal and rain. They walked side by side, calm, free, like they'd already escaped. "They're not running," I said quietly. "They're finishing it." Keene stepped forward, gun drawn. They both froze, but before we could take them in for questioning of the murders of Sam Getty and Vincent Scansella, Gina smiled. Not scared, more like certain when she said,
"We didn't start a war. We stopped one."
Francesca reached for Gina's hand as though never letting go.
"They would have never let us leave. They would never let us be together."
When Francesca said that, it all clicked. 2 murders, 1 setup. Blame the families and let them destroy each other. Meanwhile, disappear together in the chaos. A perfect plan. Almost. The train roared to life. Steam swallowed the platform. They kissed like it was the only truth left in the world. By the time I stepped forward, I was too late. They jumped. Just like that. It was over. No trial, no justice. Just silence. The city would never know how close it came to war. Because the killers weren't soldiers. They weren't mobsters. They were 2 women who chose each other over everything. And in the end, justice didn't feel like justice. It felt quiet, sharp, and deliberate, just like a velvet knife.
The city never sleeps, and neither do its secrets.